There is something you're going to hear right at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Scorpio. Trust me, you are going to be very, very happy with what exactly you're going to hear. Okay? Because what are you going to hear at the beginning of this week? It's not only it's to do with an important truth, but it's also to do with a rather significant clarity. So it's to do with the truth, but it's also to do with an important clarity. This in itself, at around that particular time, there is a good omen which you are going to have, because instantly, as soon as you become aware of this truth, as soon as you become aware of this clarity, instantly you are going to be very, very happy. Do you know why? Because for the first time in your life, you are going to be able to even consider making some kind of decision that so far, my gorgeous Scorpione, you found really, really impossible to even think about. But it is the crucial part of your life, crucial part of your spiritual journey. Something that you've been waiting for absolute ages, and something that means the world to you. Just something that means to you so much. So this is why, as soon as you become aware of this truth and clarity, this in itself is going to elevate you instantly, because you're going to be happy about what you're going to hear. But at the same time, for the first time in your life, you are going to be thinking about this difficult decision that you found so far. And now you're not going to be absolutely able to dive in, to jump in, purely because how you're actually going to feel. And even more so, at around that particular time, my gorgeous Scorpione, when you become aware of this truth and clarity, this news, this information that you're going to have, which is going to elevate you really nicely, really beautifully. At around that particular time, as I said, you are going to have this good omen, especially you're going to have this really good omen, and that in itself is going to confirm even further to you that you should be you really should start considering this difficult decision right now, this stage of your life. What are you gonna remember? What are you gonna remember is something which you discovered exactly 2 months ago. Something which you discovered 2 months ago, but 1 month ago you were thinking about it so intensely, like, oh my God, almost like there wasn't one day that passed like 1 month ago where you did not think about what you've actually discovered 2 months ago. And what you've discovered 2 months ago, it's a lot about like this, some kind of new project, something that inspired you, and something that instantly brought this urge to create within you, and this in itself, it's pretty much so you were aware of at that moment in time that this is like such a powerful potential when it comes to new beginnings in your life. But then at the same time, it's to do with something which you are anyway so passionate about, my gorgeous Scorpione, because what you came across, exactly 2 months ago, and you were thinking about this so intensely 1 month ago. This in itself really kind of helped you to reconnect with yourself, and that in itself, it's also going to be such an important stage of your life where you are going to be you're going to be able to release this particular worry that was actually holding you back all this time. Absolutely brilliant, my gorgeous Scorpione. And also, what I highly suggest you, please try to smudge your home right at the beginning of this week. I see a very strong and powerful indication that now it's absolutely a perfect time for you to smudge your home. Burn a bit of a dry sage, baby, and walk everywhere within your home. You're not going to get rid of negative energy, within your living area, but you're also going to get rid of the negative energy within you. It is a very important time to do so, because within the last couple of months I can see you being rather frustrated. You were a little bit frustrated and a little bit negative because you couldn't kind of get to the point and to the stage of your life as quick as you could have. And sometimes when we see something that we are so inspired about, when we see something that we are so passionate about and we cannot jump into it immediately, it does create a certain energy. It does create a certain frustration. And this particular frustration does kind of affects us because it slows us down. So because now you're coming out of some kind of frustration that you've been in, my gorgeous Scorpione, within the last 2 months. So this is why this is going to be such a perfect time for you to actually try to smudge your home. Try to smudge your home with the dry sage. As I said, that way you're going to get rid of the negative energy within your environment, but you're also, most importantly, going to get rid of the negative energy within yourself as well. Absolutely perfect. And I'm not saying that you're down. I'm not saying that you're sad. I'm not saying that you're miserable. I'm not saying that you're negative. Do not get me wrong, please. I'm just saying that the frustration that you've been through within the last couple of months have actually created a certain amount of negative energy that now it's absolutely perfect time for you to do something about it, because you are going to find yourself on the level 777, my gorgeous Scorpione. And what do I mean by this is that once you do this, like, you are going to feel so crispy. You're going to feel so crisp, not crispy, but maybe crisp is the word that I was actually looking for, I suppose. Crisp. You're going to feel crisp. You're going to feel refreshed. You're going to feel rejuvenated. You are going to feel re-energized, and everything is going to kind of start making sense that didn't make sense before, because you are going to almost have like this enlightening experience, which is absolutely brilliant. And as soon as you smudge your home, while you're doing it, please pay attention to all sorts of ideas and insights which you are going to have, my gorgeous Scorpione. There are some very unusual ideas and insights which you are going to have while you're smudging your home, because from one stage you're going on to another stage of your life. So this in between, it's very important for you to pick up, bits and pieces that you can only connect to through the power of your subconscious mind while you're clearing the negative energy. Indeed, absolutely brilliant. You're not only like a clearing a negative energy, but you're also knocking on all sorts of doors you did not even know existed. So please do this for me. You are gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel ecstatic. All I can say to you that by the end of this week you're gonna feel ecstatic, and you're gonna pretty much so release a negative energy, but you're also going to invite a brand new fresh energy into your life. And also my gorgeous Scorpione, when it comes to the beginning of this week, you really need to try to work out who this is. Someone is really like kind of scaring me a little bit. It's to do with a certain person. And I'm not saying that that person is down, that person is evil, that person is horrible. But I think it's somebody quite nice, it's a good person, somebody who is in your life, but somebody who is maybe dealing with lots of difficult problems, lots of difficult issues. And that person is having their own problems and their own issues, and I really don't want that person to affect you in a negative way, because I do think that you are gonna say to that person, this is somebody nice, somebody good, nothing to do with what this person is like. I'm not saying this person is horrible, I'm not saying this person is vile, but I'm just saying that this person is going through something very negative, very messy and very complex themselves, and they have been going through this for a very long time now. And it's somebody who is pretty much so, very much so close to you, somebody in your life, like one of the immediate people. And maybe you've noticed this, maybe it's a little bit of dark and negative energy around that person, maybe you didn't. But I know that you're going to say something so significant, so important to this person, and for something that you're planning to do, something that you're so excited about, something that, like, oh my God, that gets you going. You're going to feel so good about something, saying something that you're so inspired by. say, and that particular person is like going to be like a bit of a downer, but because about what you're going to say, but you must not kind of really take this too seriously, what that person is going to say. Maybe you can use this reading as an indication that what that person is going to tell you, well, that person got it wrong. So they're going to have a very much so a negative reflection on something that you're going to say about yourself, about what you're trying to do, and they're going to start bringing like a negative bits and pieces around it. And I don't want this to kind of weigh you down. I don't want this to put you off from what you should be doing, where you should be going. Okay, and it's not necessarily a bad person, it's a good person, it's a nice person, but they are sadly at the moment seeing the life in general through their own problems, only a little bit of a darkness and negativity, only because they are dealing with certain issues. So I pray that you don't actually get affected by this whatsoever, because when it is to do with the people in our lives who are very connected to us, who we love and they love us, then what they say kind of sounds different. What they say about us, especially when we are so inspired about something. So maybe you can use this reading as an indication that what you are doing and what you're going to be saying to that person, well, most certainly and most importantly, my gorgeous Scorpioni, you are doing the right thing. You are on the right path indeed. Absolutely brilliant. That person is going to be like, oh no, don't do this. It's like taking a risk. Yeah, this is what's coming to me. That person is going to be like, oh, what you're trying to do, it's like about taking a risk. No, this is going to affect you in this way, in that way. No, baby, no. Sometimes this life, this world, it's all about taking bloody risks. If we don't take risks, how do you know what's behind the corner? How do you know what's behind the wall? How do you know what's gonna be on this other side of this door? If we no baby, no. Taking risks is part of our life. It's part of our experience. And even if we take things, even if we do things wrong, taking risks is ever so important, because it happens at the end what's meant to happen. Okay, and I know it sounds like, oh my God, downer, but it is. It's going to happen what it's meant to happen. But you would never happen otherwise if you didn't take a risk in the first place. So I'm trying to say here that person is going to try to put you off from doing this, because they're going to be saying, oh no, you're taking some kind of a risk. You're taking some kind of a risk. This now, it's going to be even more an important indication for you that, something miraculous, something outwardly, it's going to happen to you because of this. In exactly 39 days, after that happens, in exactly 39 days, something miraculous, something outwardly, it's going to happen to you, because you did make a step, you did do what you wanted to do. When it comes to you speaking about something that you're so passionate to that particular person, hallelujah, my gorgeous Scorpionini, like you are gonna do what you're gonna do, because I see that in 39 days, something absolutely miraculous and outwardly is actually going to happen. Absolutely brilliant. And that's going to be good. That's going to be brilliant. You're going to find yourself at the stage of your life that you will not believe the turn your life is actually going to take in as little as 39 days. And this is why it's so important to actually just kind of follow our passion, follow things that keeps us going. And of course that we love people in our lives. Of course we do. But that doesn't mean that, we have to do always what they think that we should be doing. I'm not saying you're doing this, but you know what I mean. This is going to be pretty much so a really nice little wake-up call, because you're also going to realize you're also going to realize something so important about yourself, when you feel so strong about something, that is something that you should most importantly do. Okay, by the time you get to the meat part of this week, my gorgeous Scorpione, listen, this is very important, because you are going to really kind of you're going to realize that now it's time to pretty much so you're going to realize that you are in some kind of self-imposed restriction. It's to do with a self-imposed restriction, and you are going to have such a powerful moment here, because you are going to be thinking about some kind of a painful ending that you've actually been through, something that happened in your life like a while back, some kind of a painful ending, and that particular painful ending, you felt pretty much so this has created a bit of a deep wounds. This is to do with maybe like painful ending. It's like maybe to do with a bit of some kind of a betrayal. You were really disappointed about somebody here, when it comes to this like kind of painful ending, and somehow you are going to be kind of reminded of that at around the midweek, because something is going to remind you of that person, and then you're going to go like kind of a little bit negative. But this is so important, because the more negative you go here, the better outcome it's actually going to be. And then you're going to realize that now it's time to kind of release some kind of negative thoughts, negative thinking, and most importantly you're going to realize why exactly are you feeling like you are in self kind of imposed prison. And now something is going to happen, and you will decide to do something that you are so petrified about, but not like in a scary way, but almost as if you're going to realize, well, now I need to kind of, you're going to realize that you need to be part of some kind of competition, or you're going to need to do something which is going to involve other people, maybe that you do not want to be surrounded by or surrounded with for a while. But then you really need to have a certain amount of confidence even to think about, let alone to actually take this seriously. So this in itself is going to be a really powerful sign that you are moving on with your life. And I know it's going to sound like, oh, competition. All this is going to boil down towards you realizing that you are going to need to be a part of some kind of competition here. But something is putting you off about it. Maybe it's to do with being surrounded by the certain people or doing certain things that you absolutely don't feel comfortable doing whatsoever. But you felt about it for a very long time and you knew this. But only now, somehow you're going to be able to establish that this painful ending that you've actually had, subconsciously had, affected you so much. And it did kind of prolong certain things, but it also did kind of slow down certain things. So now this is a very powerful moment of your personal alignment that you're actually going to have, which is ever so important. Because when it comes to that particular competition, listen to me very carefully, you are going to take this very seriously. And whether that competition or whatever it is happens, you being surrounded by the certain people, whether this is actually going to happen this week or whether this is actually going to happen next week or within the next few weeks, it doesn't matter. It's still connected to this particular energy of this week. So I can tell you exactly that something incredible is going to happen. All this is going to end up to be completely different. This competition or whatever it is going to end up to be probably one of the most prominent parts of your life in a very long time, because you are going to realize, my God, there is something that you are going to realize. There is something that you are going to understand. You're going to realize what's missing in your life. You're going to realize something which is not only going to kind of give you courage and even more confident, but there is something that you're going to realize about your own independence. How much do you actually want this? This is going to bring focus into your life. You will know what to focus on right now. And it's going to surprise you, because it's going to be different to what you thought that you would have been focusing on organically when it comes to this particular situation. With other words, something is going to happen when it comes to that competition, my gorgeous Scorpione, so much that you are going to not only have a focus back, what to focus on, but also at the same time it's bringing this determination, happiness, and most importantly, zest for life. There are a couple of very, very incredible people who are about to enter your spiritual journey as well when it comes to that competition that I'm talking about. Okay, and this is why this is going to be so important, my gorgeous Scorpione, indeed. And also, oh my God, I know that this is going to sound really weird, but there is somebody that is very close to you, very important to you, somebody who you love dearly, one of the prominent people in your life, but for some reason, for this particular person, you think that person is a little bit sensitive. not in a bad way, you know, like a sensitive, really nice person, really lovely person, really adorable person, somebody who wouldn't hurt a fly type of thing. So I'm talking about somebody really prominent right now in your life who's so important to you, somebody who's very gentle, kind and caring and lovely. And there is something that you're gonna hear. You need to get that person out of some kind of really bad situation that person has found themselves in. Okay, so please, 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 because you are gonna hear that somebody had some kind of row or an argument with that particular person, that adorable person. And the moment in time you hear about this, you will know that that person is gonna be really upset about something. You will know exactly what to do. You need to get that person out of something. That person has found themselves being surrounded by one particular person who I do not like whatsoever. Now that person still has a time to really drift away or drift apart from that particular person. So please, please, please try to do something, my gorgeous Scorpione, and you know, try to somehow help that person and redirect her away from somebody very dark and very negative who they have actually find themselves being around. Okay, now it's still okay, but later on it can become like a really big problem indeed. Okay, it's like, oh my God. And I know you're gonna tell me like, oh God, who are you talking about? I'm sorry, my gorgeous Scorpione, but it is somebody in your life who really like kind of means to you so much, and it's an adorable, very sensitive person, you know. I really like this person, and sometimes when the people are so adorable, sensitive, so beautiful, so kind and caring and giving, you know, there's so many dark, bloody entities, you know, that just suck this energy dry, unfortunately. You know, there are negative people or negative entities who feeds of this, you know, in so many different ways, you know, and it's crazy, but it's true, you know. So this is why this is going to be so important. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Scorpione, like a really fantastic accomplishment, a really brilliant accomplishment. But this accomplishment that you are going to have, it's going to be based on things you've been doing within the last 3 months. This big accomplishment is going to be like, yeah, baby, you're going to be very happy here. But it's to do with something that you have been like kind of doing and working on for the last 3 months. This is not only bringing like a really important balance into your life, but it's also on one hand gonna make you aware of what do you need to be patient about and carry on with, but then on another hand it's also going to help you to find a certain meaning, and that in itself is gonna lead towards you kind of evaluating, you know, reevaluating like a certain things in your life, especially when it comes to like you are gonna find yourself where you're gonna be thinking about, you know, what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel excited, what makes you feel content, you know, what makes you feel good, you know, and this is like when it comes to this accomplishment, it's not only like, oh my God, this is bringing an amazing balance into your life. It's not only about you feeling so happy, but it's also like kind of going to highlight what makes you feel really good, what makes you feel really happy, you know. And then you are going to have, I mean, this in itself, like again, it's bringing like a clarity in itself, but then it's more about this idea which you are going to have. And this idea which you are going to have, it's pretty much so going to, it's to do with some kind of collaboration. But then again, that particular collaboration which you are going to become aware of when it comes to that idea, it's gonna lead towards you like pretty much so having a big answer to some kind of contemplation that was driving you absolutely crazy for way too long. Absolutely brilliant, my gorgeous Scorpione, in so many different ways indeed, like, oh my God. So now, my gorgeous Scorpione, I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards and I'm gonna see what is gonna be a tarot card of the week. I'm going to shuffle these tarot cards and I'm going to see what is going to be a tarot card of the week. Okay, So my gorgeous Scorpioni, your tarot card of the week is going to be, oh my lordy lord, surprise, surprise. Now, just remember, a lot is gonna be happening this week. A lot is gonna be happening this week. There is a lot which is going to be on your mind. I want to say one thing to you, to keep things traditional. Remember to keep things traditional, but also I need you to understand that every single time when you are doing something spiritual, whether you are smudging your home, whether you are, I don't know, playing with your tarot cards, whether you are using your crystals, every single time when you do something spiritual, every single time you are going to have an important insight as well. Okay, this is going to be reward from your own spirit, so make the most of it. For example, when you're doing something spiritual, at the same time, you know, maybe if you think about a certain problem or a certain issue, you will realize the difference will be now how not only you have an answer for it immediately, but how the energy and vibration is different, and something is going to be kind of pushing you forward, and something is going to be telling you like to go for it. And this little voice within, it's just so important, because it's going to be leading you and guiding you towards a very pretty much so a light at the end of the tunnel. So all you need to do is just to understand that when you do something, you are in general going to feel ridiculously spiritual. So much is going to come to you in terms of the actual intuition. But I'm telling you, as soon as you get on and do things that you consider spiritual, as soon as you kind of become a part of that energy, at that moment in time, you use this to your advantage. Think about the specific problem, specific issue, and you're going to be blown away what an answer and insight you're actually going to have. And on top of all that, you are going to feel ready, and that's all you need when it comes to moving forward with your life, my gorgeous Scorpioni. Like, oh my god. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpioni, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.